One of my favorite things to do is traveling. I'm actually traveling right now as I'm in Korea, in Jeju Island, and I wanted to make you this video today to talk about 3 things that I've learned from traveling. And then the first lesson that I've learned is that there's multiple ways to do something. Each place, each country, society has their own culture, has their own way of doing things. For example, right now I'm in Korea, the restaurants, they have their own way of giving you all these appetizers, these for free, that comes with your meal, stacked up on your table, whether you ask for it or not. They have trash done in a certain way, where you don't just recycle. You have to divide the recycling by paper, plastic, the different kinds of plastics, aluminum, food waste, and so forth. And if you don't, you can receive a fine. One people might say like, all this is inconvenient, but it's just the way things are done here. It's just because it's not the way you do something at home, that doesn't mean you can't do it here. And different places have just contrasting way of life. Like in the US, you need a car to get by, and there's other places where you don't need a car. You rely on public transportation. And people, where you just rely on public transportation to get by, while people in the US, they never use public transportation. And there's places where there's a lot of homeless people walking around, but then you go to some place like in Japan, it's hard to see any homeless people. Here in Jeju Island, you also don't really see homeless people. So there's just contrasting ways of living. And this helps you because it allows you to be more empathetic to people, to understand where they're coming from. And it helps you be creative by exploring different ways of doing things. You realize that it doesn't have to be done that way. You realize that there can be a place where there's no homeless people around. There can't be a place where people actually recycle. So it just opens up your eyes to the different possibilities that are out there once you do travel. The second thing, and this is also how innovation happens too, by combining these different ways of doing things, you can piece together what you find most efficient from different ventures. You can mix them up and use it. I have to use this when I do web development, because there's so many different ways of going about coding. People come from different teachers. There's different programming languages. You just want to pick the best one out there, and then you have to be empathetic of the different ways people code what they have. So another thing that I've learned from traveling is just you get a sense of progress from traveling. It kind of you can check it off, mark it off on your checklist. Oh, I've been to this place. That's one tangible way you feel like you're accomplishing value, just being in the same place. And then the second thing, to add on about that sense of accomplishment, you kind of learn a lot whenever you do things for the first time. It's kind of nervous. You don't know how people live when you go to some place. Like I came here to Korea, I didn't know how the bus system work, how different restaurants work, and I just go in not fully understanding how things work, and I just figure it out. But sometimes it looks awkward. Like the first time I went on the bus, I tried paying with cash because that's what my Airbnb host told me, which was wrong. You have to get this refillable card from the convenience store to pay. So sometimes it doesn't work when you do things the first time, but you learn from it. And just by doing new things, going new places, it opens up what you learn from it. You feel a sense of progress of you doing things and also with you learning. And then the last thing that I've learned that kind of ties in to my second point is that time kind of slows down. Whenever you're doing things for the first time, it's kind of novel, and you kind of appreciate it. You're kind of focused on it more to see how things are. While whenever I'm back home, time just kind of flies at times, especially when I'm working hard on the business. But here it's just like you just take a step back and just appreciate how life goes as you're living, as you're working. So there's a novelty of doing things new that slows things down. Kind of like how whenever you drive somewhere for the first time, it feels slow, but if you do it again when you drive there, it feels faster. So I encourage you, even though the logistics, the timing isn't always perfect whenever you want to travel, to make the most of it, because sometimes the opportunity might not be there anymore. Sometimes in the future you can't travel to a certain place because of country foreign affairs, because of natural disasters. The opportunity won't be there anymore. So if you have the opportunity, if you have the desire to do it, I suggest you go for it while you still can. So that's all I wanted to talk to you about today. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos as I talk about the journey, about more traveling, about coding, about business.